Welcome back to the Whisky Couch here in Pretoria, South Africa. I'm Gustav and this is Whisky Tasting and Food Pairing Review number 153. It is also the third one in this series that I'm doing on 14-year-old single malt whiskies. And if you remember from the first video in this series, I've set myself a challenge to pair each one of these 9 different 14-year-old single malts with French bruschetta, but each one with a different topping that will connect with that particular 14-year-old whiskey. So today, 14-year-old Clynelish. But before I continue with the whiskey, just a reminder that in the comments below the video, I've got a long list of other Whiskey Tube channels. Please have a look at all of them. There are some wonderful whiskey channels in that list that I've given just below the video. Clynelish, 14-year-old. The Clynelish distillery is situated next to the town of Brora. So this is our map, lowlands and highlands. Now northeast coast of Scotland, over there in the highlands, northern highlands. That is where Clynelish is situated, just south of Old Pulteney and north of what? Glenmorangie, Balblair, Old Pulteney, Wolfburn, just about there. There we go, Clynelish Distillery. The original distillery was built in 1819. And then in 1967, a new distillery was built right next to it. And for a short time, they operated simultaneously. But then the old one was closed and it reopened as the Brora Distillery. Clynelish is the Gaelic word which means enclosed pasture, and this distillery belongs to Diageo. A 14-year-old expression, matured in oak casks, and this one was first produced in 2002. So for the last 16 years, this expression has been available, bottled at 46% alcohol by volume. There we go, 46%. Clynelish, 14-year-old single malt from Scotland. I'm very excited about this particular one. So let's go into it. There's a picture, before I forget, of the Clynelish distillery and the warehouse where the casks are waiting to be bottled. So here we go, Clynelish, 14-year-old from Diageo. A beautiful old gold color. In the lighting that I've got here, it's almost like a sunset gold. Crisp gold. Some legs forming there slowly on the glass. Good. On the nose. Yo, floral and oaky. Some oak wood and then suddenly brown sugar. There's a nice earthiness to this whiskey with a bit of a herbal aroma. There's a lot going on here. Now I'm getting jellybean candy, sweet fruits and sherry, a hint of smoke, creamy honey and again brown sugar. Every time you nose it, there's another aroma that opens up. All right, on the palate, wow, fabulous. Honeyed cereal, salted caramel and chocolate with a citrus flavor. And then there's like a fruit basket. a fruit basket with peaches, apples, and a little bit of sherry. Oak spices include some cinnamon, but then again the jelly bean candy and the toffee and the sea salt. I was waiting for the sea salt because of the fact that it's a coastal distillery. I was expecting a bit of saltiness. The finish is a medium long finish with some creamy vanilla, something slightly bitter, almost like bitter marmalade, some sweet pears, some oak spices in the finish as I'm sitting here. It's got a waxy quality, this whiskey. Again, the saltiness, and now it's getting dry, and then a little bit of bitter notes just to balance everything. Let's add a few drops of water and see what happens to 46% alcohol by volume. Just a half a teaspoon of water, maybe a little bit more. Not a massive effect there because of the water. There we go. Some more of that earthiness, and then brown sugar and the fruit candy. Fruity, sweet. My summary will almost be creamy, complex, full-bodied mouth coating, an amazing dram. An amazing dram, that is for sure. What a nice whiskey from Clynelish. The price here in South Africa is around 600-700 rand. It is not that widely available. It's quite difficult to get hold of, but if you can, when I got it a year or two ago, it was around 700 rand. In the UK, from what I can understand, £45, and in the US, $60 US for this very nice single malt. Pairing this with a food snack, I was thinking, because of the creaminess of this whiskey, the sweetness and the slightly saltiness, I'm going to put a topping on my French bruschetta, a little bit of cream cheese with salami salt, which is slightly salty. It'll connect with the saltiness, and it will bring a bit of balance to the sweetness. And then I've got a slice of camembert cheese just to add to that creaminess, the creamy experience. There we go, French bruschetta. And I wonder if I'm going to manage this in front of the camera, but here we go. This is going to be good. Salty, creamy. Oh, wow. I'm trying to think of the first two whiskies that I did in this series. It was the Oban and the Mortlach, and I'm trying to remember how was those pairings, but this pairing, I'm going to say this is the best one so far in this series, the pairing, that food snack with this particular 14-year-old Clynelish. Fabulous. Thank you very much for watching and joining me on this 14-year-old single malt journey. I look forward to seeing you again in the next one, which will be whiskey number 4 in this series of 9 different 14-year-old single malts. Until then, sláinte.